every single year in the past. Alhamdulillah, this is the sixth time we're hosting the Afropreneur Challenge, and this is, if I'm correct, the third time you guys are seeing me up here. Unfortunately, you guys won't get to see me as much as you guys saw me in past years where I was almost running the entire thing, but inshallah, you'll still get to see a great deal of me today. Today's agenda will be for our new people, our people who haven't seen the past Afropreneur challenges. We've had it 6 times though, so if you haven't seen the Afropreneur challenge, if you haven't tuned in the past, I'm not sure what you're doing. But for our new people, the Afropreneur challenge has multiple segments, and we'll start off with having an introduction from a special guest. And then, of course, we'll have the Afropreneur talk for a bit. We'll introduce our judges. Then we'll go through the entire challenge before voting and, hearing what the judges have to say about the contestants, and then finally concluding, inshallah. In a couple minutes now, we will hear from our special guest. Now, before we get started with the official segments, I have a little bit of a special session for you guys before we get started. Someone I know very well personally is actually sitting with us in the crowd today. Someone that who's been either at or watched every single Afropreneur challenge from start to finish, and has in a way been inspired by some of the companies and things that we've seen start up here at the Afropreneur Challenge. I want to call up to the stage my dearest friend, Fadil Lawal. Over the past years, he's been working on something very special, and he wants to, come up and tell us a little bit about what he's been doing and, how that accomplishment and how the Afropreneur Challenge kind of motivated him to, make a change and actually do something for himself that, we are going to see a lot more of in today's Afropreneur Challenge. So, Fadil Lawal, if you'd like to come up to the stage, can I get a round of applause, please? Now, before we get started with that, I know a lot of you guys were at every single at quite a few Afropreneur challenges in the past. Does anybody from the crowd either remember or who was at any of the last Afropreneur challenges remember any of the kind of pitches that we saw that really interested them? Is there anybody from the crowd that remembers? I'm going to start calling on names. Do you want to talk?
I don't really want to embarrass my son and my mom, but in the first iteration, I discussed shea butter, and so I'm back 5 years later.
I do actually remember that pitch. That's one of the cooler ones. How is that going now?
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress, inshallah, inshallah. But that's why we're here today, to see, to build up the successes starting right here in the Afropreneur Challenge, and hopefully, inshallah, to one day see them have major success in the business world and as an entrepreneur, inshallah. Is there anybody else? Anybody else remember anything very interesting from any of the past Afropreneur Challenges? You know, maybe something that stuck with you or something that inspired you? No? Well, I remember personally from one of the first Afropreneur Challenges that I watched, it was, I didn't know if it was going to sit well with our grandmas and grandpas that we have in the crowd today, but I watched one of the pitches that was a clothing brand that, you know, was a little bit eccentric, a little bit out of the way from what we normally saw, but I thought it was really cool and a really amazing pitch to see, you know, at the Afropreneur Challenge, because, you know, it's something we see a lot of the time with our youth that resonates with our youth and things that, you know, I myself might wear. And so I thought it was really cool. How they're doing now, alhamdulillah, I hope they're doing well, but, you know, only time will tell. Now, Fidel.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I've been attending Afropreneur ever since I've been attending Platform, to be honest. Either I'm volunteering, Dr. Bello has roped me in, or I'm watching, just interested. And it really has had an impact on the way that I live my life in terms of applying what I learn to the real world. So earlier this year, I competed in what's called a hackathon. Does anyone know what that is? Can someone tell me what a hackathon is? You raise your hand.
Yes, so you go into a virtual environment and try to break all the security staff. That's one of them.
Okay, that's one version of it. I'm thinking more so in like the academic sense. Does anyone know what a hackathon is there? Hackathons that go to colleges, what are those? Can anyone give me a small description? Hanif. Exactly. So usually like a company or a college will come to like some institution and sponsor students to come and create good ideas. And they'll usually throw a lot of money at the people who win. So this past semester, I competed in one of those hackathons with a construction company that came to Vanderbilt, where I go for college. And we won that tournament, alhamdulillah. We were using AI. We're using AI to solve the problem of spatial intelligence in construction. Right now, construction is dominated with hammers, nails. Nobody is talking to ChatGPT while they're pouring concrete on the ground. But there is a good medium between the two. And it comes in the form of being able to visualize your blueprints without having to look at pieces of paper while you're working. So what we created was basically Jarvis, but for construction. You wear glasses. For any of those who have not seen Iron Man, you basically wear glasses and you can see your 3D environment even though it hasn't been built yet. And you can talk to it and interact with it. So for example, if I was building this wall, I could ask IronSight, which is what we call the AI agent, how many screws are needed for me to plaster the plastic design onto the wooden frame. And it would tell you the amount that are needed based off of the construction plans. And this is only possible thanks to the inspiration and the other ideas that I've seen on Afropreneur. So it's just an example of how coming to these events, being part of these events, seeing these events and seeing these real products come to life can really impact your life and the way you live. In the future, inshallah, we're currently working with a couple different architectural firms right now to get the product fully done. There's a couple companies in Nashville that we're talking to right now and also one in New York. So inshallah, by the end of this semester, we should have a good product, at least a good startup, something that will inshallah make a lot of money so I can donate all of it to NCNMO.
Jazakallah khairan for that amazing presentation. I'm so glad to see that, you know, kind of the impact that the Afropreneur Challenge just has, not on just, you know, the companies that are and people that are competing in it, but, you know, the outside sources that, you know, we have, you know, all across our community. There's some wonderful people, and, you know, things like this, you know, inspire the youth to really get out there and create something. So without further ado, you know, I'm going to call Brother Mashal, Elijah Mashal Suleiman, up to the stage for our welcome ceremony. I know all of you guys know him very well, but I'm going to pass the mic over to him to let him, you know, really introduce himself and talk a little bit about what's going to go on here today.
Thanks, Rahman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before I get started, if you're a parent and you're here and your daughter or your son of college age or a teenage daughter or son is not here, please reach out. We appreciate you being here, but we want your children, your college age students, your teenagers to be here, to be part of this. I'm not saying this is not good for you. It is extremely good for you, but it's also very important that we have our younger generation, the youth, here to participate. My name is Marshall Suleiman. So this morning, when we are having the platform, the lecture this morning, we're talking about how many people have been here for longer than 20 years, attending platform 20 years. So I was not one of the people who attended platform 25 years. I wasn't. But I've attended platform for approximately, I would say 20 years, or 19 or to 20 years. Right, so about 2016, I was asked to be the board chairman for the board of trustees for the NCNMO. And we thought, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do differently from what's been done in the past few years? And that was when we had the Vision 2025 strategy. The Vision 2025 strategy was actually conceived here in Ohio in 2016, and it was launched in 2017, right? And this is 2025. Tekbir. So some 7-8 years ago, we were looking at where are we going to be in 2025? Or where do we want to be in 2025? What's our aspiration for 2025? And we had 3 focus areas. We're focusing on family and faith, but more importantly, we're focusing on our youth. And that's what led to how do we engage our youth? How do we make sure that we give them what they need to be successful in the future? How do we nurture, create them, to give them the challenges that we are having that we are not able to solve for them to solve for us? How do we prepare them for the opportunities ahead of us that we, our generation, we have tapped out, we are not going to be able to explore, but they are just starting and they were able to do that. Fadil, I'm so happy and I'm impressed to hear a story, how Afropreneur has impacted you to prepare you for winning that competition. That is a fantastic opportunity for us. That's one of many examples. In the past 6 years, because this is the 6th Afropreneur Challenge we're having, in the past 6 years, we've had more than 30 different ideas that have gone through the process. What you guys have seen or what you're going to be seeing today, and what we're seeing at Platform Finals, they are the finalists. They are not the only ideas that were generated. Some ideas did not make it to the final, right? So I want to congratulate those of us who participated in the past. More importantly, I want to congratulate those of us who are here today that we are going to be seeing and winning. I congratulate all the participants, and I also congratulate those of us who are going to be stealing some of the ideas, like Fadil did, and then modify the ideas, encourage, get motivated both in the ideas, and develop something different, something better than what we've listened to, right? I look forward to spending this evening engaging all of us and making sure that we now, plant the seed for the next 30 years, for Vision 2030. This year, we are launching Vision 2030, and I have the opportunity of co-leading that with Imam Bashir Agbola. We finished 2025, we started in 2030. Afropreneur was part of our journey for 2025, and inshallah, Afropreneur will continue to be part of our journey as long as we continue this. I want to congratulate Afropreneur Idris Bello. Fadil made a mistake, he called him a doctor, he's not a doctor, right? He's not a doctor, he's an Afropreneur. He just had multiple master's degrees, right? But all of them don't add up to being a doctor, right? Abdurrahman, thank you.
Takbir. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's now my turn to introduce this very old man. Whew. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished faculty members, alumni, students, and honored guests, it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce today's distinguished speaker, a proud son of Great Ife, a global technology investor and one of Africa's foremost ecosystem builders. Mr. Idris Ayodeji Bello, widely known as the Afropreneur, is the founding partner and managing partner of Lofty Inc. Capital Management, a pioneering Pan-African venture capital firm that has played a defining role in shaping Africa's technology startup ecosystem. An alumnus of Obafemi Awolowo University, Idris Bello graduated from this institution with first-class honors in computer engineering, a foundation he credits for installing the discipline, curiosity, and community-mindedness that have guided his work across Africa and beyond. He is the originator of the term Afropreneur, a concept that captures African-descendant innovators who apply technology, creativity, and enterprise to solve pressing challenges across the continent and diaspora. Over the years, he has helped establish some of Africa's earliest and most influential innovation platforms, including Innovation Hub, Afropreneur Angel Group, and the Lagos Angel Network, institutions that have nurtured generations of founders and investors. A Kaufman Fellow and Singularity University Impact Fellow, Mr. Bello has been recognized globally for his contributions, including being named by CNN as one of Africa's top 10 technology voices. His academic and professional journey spans multiple continents and sectors, with advanced degrees from the University of Houston, University of Oxford, and Rice University, and leadership experience across energy, healthcare, and technology. Through Lofty Inc. Capital, he has led investments into hundreds of African startups, including 4 unicorns, helping to catalyze billions of dollars in follow-on capital and positioning Africa firmly with the global innovation economy. Today, he returns not just as a global leader, but as a proud alumnus to share insights shaped by experience, reflection, and a deep commitment to the future of Africa innovation ecosystem. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Idris Bello with a warm round of applause. Pretty old man, my boy.
See him introducing me as if I'm not his daddy. Small boy can still smack you. You might be old, but thank you very much. And on that note, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Gives me great pleasure to be here once again at the 25th platform. And what is the 6th Afropreneur Challenge? We are running a bit behind schedule, so I'm going to go through this quickly. But what I like to do is to show us the journey so far, why we do this, and why we continue to do this. So firstly, we're very grateful to the leadership of NCNMO, who have given us the opportunity over the past 6 years to be able to work closely with our young entrepreneurs within the community to stimulate our entrepreneurship within the community. So we're very thankful to the leadership, the Shura, the Amir, and the executive. So, alhamdulillah, 5 years in, 6 years in, what is this about? Let's see. Okay. So again, this started in 2020 as part of Vision 2025 of NCNMO. And the idea was looking at a couple of pillars as the organization was growing. One of the things identified was entrepreneurship. And so we started this, and over the past 5 years, we have had 25 finalists who have presented on this stage at platform. But beyond that, we have had about 100 others who have gone through the application process, who have themselves. Okay, sorry. The screen is not sharing. Technology. Sorry. Can you? Is it sharing now? You can share the screen now. I want to speak. So we have had hundreds who have also gone through the process of applying to the final, of being mentored, or being coached, right? And the idea is we expect people to come with just a basic idea. All we ask is a single page. It's that easy. And from there, we then shortlist applicants. We then work with them. So all we ask you to come with is just an idea. It doesn't even have to be fully fleshed. But the way it works is that we then have mentors, coaches who work with you over a 3 to 6 month period to refine those ideas, to create your pitches, to create business plans, to create marketing plans. And hopefully by December of each year, some of you the top 5 can then present here. And hopefully beyond this, go forward to be able to execute on those ideas. So this is the class of 2020. It's not showing on the screen. So again, in 2020, we had people like Miriam Kasumu of Chems Pure Products. I'm not sure that she's here, but some of you would know her. Rofet Abubakar of Iron Luxuries, and Alima Kasumu, right, who were the top 3 winners then. In 2021, we had Start Edu from DIH Designs. We had Sulaiman Abiola from Emowa, Mr. Adeyemi and Latifa from who won the other awards from Black Muslim TV. 2022, we had the very familiar Shaifa Buhari. I know the name here says Afro Staples Essentials, but what do you people know her for? Sheriology, Ekaology Indeo, right? And I think she's also joined us online today. So we had our win in 2022, and we also had Ridwan Asanusi, who founded Tex Financial Technologies, which today is one of the leading Islamic finance businesses in Nigeria. And of course, Firdaus Ashiru with Soba Hibiscus. And then 2023, we had Kawia Kolawole Aresa from Houston, the CEO of African Booker, who was the top winner for that year, along with Moise Adam and Adeni Balogun. Then last year, we had Rashida Oyegunle of Stanley Paddy come up as the winner. And then Faridat Ilokweju and Favor Anifowoshe. So again, that's been 5 years, and inshallah this year, we're going to have our new winners, right, for the 6th edition. But again, for us, it's not just about this competition, it's about what it stimulates. It's about anyone here, young, old, being able to come up with an idea. I know that they have mentors within this community who can help them take it to the next level. That is really the core of this. So it's not just about winning here. It's about whatever idea you have within NCNMO, there are folks here. And you will see it when you listen to our judges. We have got a stellar team of judges. You know, we flew them all the way in here at their own expense. So, but again, they're all in here. But again, it just shows you what we are within our community, that sometimes we underestimate. And that's really what we're showcasing here. That we want people with ideas to come up here. And you can see this from some of the testimonials that were received from some of the past folks. So again, as Mashal said, Vision 2025 is over. We are now at the end of 2025. As we look up at Vision 2030, we're also scaling up our dreams. For those of you who have had the t-shirt, we promise that the first 25 people to come in here will have free Afropreneur hoodies. Have you gotten your hoodies? Some of them are gotten there, so I think it's incoming. If you're among the first 25, you'll get your hoodies, inshallah. If your name was not on the list, then you're not among the first 25. But I think they're going across with it. But again, if you look at the back of that t-shirt, what does it say? Can you read what is there? If your dream does not scare you, it's not big enough. So we want to dream scary, big dreams at NCNMO. We want that by the time we are celebrating in 2030, the end of Vision 2030, that a unicorn has been produced within NCNMO. Do you know what a unicorn is? A company that is worth $1 billion. So we want it that someone within NCNMO between now and the year 2030 would have built a company that is worth $1 billion. It might be one of the judges, it might be one of the people in the audience, it might be anyone. But again, that is the idea. That's the kind of dreams we want to have. So that when it comes to gala night and we're asking to donate, the brother does not have to lose his voice, right? Fadi will just stand up and say, okay, $1 million, right? Because that's just a percentage of whatever it is. That's the kind of dreams you want to be. And so we want to help them shape those dreams. So this is what we have gone through this year. We started this very late in September when we declared applications open. Sadly, we don't get enough applications for many of your chapters. Again, all we are asking for is a single page of an idea. Nothing formed, no marketing plan, nothing. And yet we have to come after each chapter, each time, just to get applications. If we treat this open to people in Nigeria, in 1 week we would have 1,000 applications. But because we are living within NCNMO, we always have to come and beg. So we opened applications and we kept it open from September 15 all the way to November. And after that, we then shortlisted and we then had our mentors who then worked with our entrepreneurs over the past couple of weeks and months to get where we are today. Master classes were held, coachings were held that covered financial modeling, revenue models, storytelling, markets, pitching, and scaling. So for us, that's really the value there. It's not about what you win today. It's about what you become in the process of applying for this up to today. And now, of course, you have today. So we want to take this opportunity to thank many of our coaches and speakers who have spent the last 3 months working with our entrepreneurs. Some of them locally here, some of them in Nigeria, some of them in different places, right? From Fuad Lawal to Mustafa Bakade to Deja Shubiaro, they have been very helpful in working with our judges, with our entrepreneurs over the past couple of months. And that brings us to today. Today, we are presenting to you 5 amazing entrepreneurs who have worked very well over the past couple of months to be able to stand here today. 2 of them will be presenting virtually today on Zoom, but 3 of them will be presenting live in person. And then you, the audience, will then have the choice to also help judge. We have our judges here will be introduced shortly, but apart from that, you, the judges, as usual, will have the chance to vote on Menti. We'll show you soon on Menti. You have the chance to vote for the People's Choice Awards, which we do every year. So again, we thank Allah who has allowed us to be here today. We thank you all who have chosen to join us this evening when you could be elsewhere. And with that, I would hand over back to our able, consistent MC, Abdulrahman Aziz. Jazakallah khairan.
Takbir. Takbir. I'm not hearing enough excitement. We just had the Afropreneur up on stage. I'm not hearing enough excitement. There it is. Now, I know you guys are stoked. I know you guys are ready to hear these pitches. But before we get started with that, first we have our 5 judges sitting right here. If all of you guys can look, we have our 5 judges sitting right here in this first row that are going to give us a quick 30-second introduction to themselves and, talk a little bit about themselves before we get started with the actual presentations. First up, we have Dr. Biodun Isiaka.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Dr. Abiodun Sharifat Isiaka. I'm an assistant professor of accounting at University of Regina in Saskatchewan, Canada. I flew here at my own expense. I was flown here at my own expense. Yeah, so I teach in the accounting field. I'm also like a professional accountant, both Nigerian and also the UK and also Canada. I have 2 master's degrees. I have MBA from University of Houston, Victoria, and I also have a master's of arts in economics from SUNY Buffalo, and I did my PhD at Wilfrid Laurier University in Canada. I'm very happy to be here. This is my 2nd year, and I look forward to the various pitches. Thank you. Salam alaikum. Oh, and I have my trailing spouse here.
Jazakallah khair. And just so you see, that's the level of prestige that our judges have. Multiple master's degrees. These people are not playing around. These people are serious when it comes to business and what they know. So next up, we have Dr. Idowu Fatima Olaoye, who's next on.
Sorry, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I'm just going to correct that notion. I would be finishing my PhD this year, so doctor in the making, inshallah. So my name is Idu Fatima Olaoye. I'm a nurse practitioner. I work in Houston. I'm also a fitness instructor. I have 3 kids, and mashallah, my husband, who wants to be here today but is not here today, is very supportive as well. I schooled both in Nigeria, both in the UK and in the US. This is my 2nd year here. I'm a mother of 3. Inshallah, I'm happy to be here.
Takbir. Next up, we have Mr. Abdurrashid Ija Odola. Ija Odola. I'm trying my best.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdurrashid Ija Odola. I'm a corporate lawyer. I work in New York. I do private equity, venture capital as well. So I advise a lot of startups and investors that invest in them, including Lofty Inc. I actually started practicing in Nigeria. I did my first master's in Nigeria as well. and then I did my second master's here at Stanford, licensed to practice in Nigeria, New York, and California. Thank you.
And he's only 27 years old. So you youngins back there, that can be you. You can be the next one up here. Next, we have Mr. Niyi Olajide.
Salam alaikum. My name is Niyi Olajide. I'm 25 years old too. Why are you laughing? What's funny? Went to the only real university in Nigeria, University of Ibadan. Thank you. Got my bachelor's degree in computer science from the University of Ibadan. Master's degree, Texas A&M University, computer science as well. I work in the Bay Area, San Francisco, and I'm a data engineer. Thank you.
Takbir. And finally, last but not least, we have Mrs. Modupe Akinola. That one I even got.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Modupe Tawakal Akinola. I also went to the one and only university in Nigeria, University of Ibadan. I'm also a chartered accountant. I'm a finance professional. I started my career at KPMG in Lagos, and then I moved into industry. I've been working in FMCG, and I've had the opportunity to work in Switzerland, the UAE, and recently the United States. This is my first platform, and I'm very happy to be here.
So I know our judges are very, very humble. The last two. So Niyi is the director at Facebook, Meta. She's the director at Procter & Gamble, P&G, of finance. So again, these are amazing people who are here. Very humble, but again, it shows you what we have in this community to support your dreams. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. And you see, not only do we have so many advanced professionals, they're also from a variety of different sectors. So there's no kind of leaning towards one side or not. We have everything here. And so now we will have one of the judges will give us the ground rules for this competition before we get started. You want to go ahead?
I'm gonna make this up as I go, I guess. Let me consult real quick here. Oh, okay, this one. All right. I'll try to be brief, but we are going to have pitches from each one of the contestants today. There's going to be 5 minutes for the pitch presentation and 5 minutes for Q&A with the judges. This will apply to folks that are going to be presenting here and the ones on Zoom, inshallah. We're going to be scoring, each judge is independently going to score on 4 dimensions. So the things we're going to be looking for are problem and market understanding, the solution and the value proposition, business model, and team and execution capability. And each one of us here will score, and I'm assuming there's going to be a quick aggregation of the scores to determine the winner. And I guess that's it. There's a tiebreaker rule. We are gonna have clarifying questions if any one of us needs to follow up. We'll try to keep it short. We try to keep it succinct so we can keep moving. But each one of us can have a follow-up question. Then if there's any tie, the higher business model score is the first tiebreaker. The higher problem and market understanding score is the second tiebreaker, and the last tiebreaker is a panel deliberation. That's where we all get together. I think it'll be exciting if he gets there. I don't think he will, but if he does, we'll get together and we'll finally make the call. So there's no chance that there won't be a winner today. We'll have a winner, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah khair. So I know all of you guys are super excited that we're finally going to get started with this year's edition of the Afropreneur Challenge. First up, joining us in Zoom, we have Zaidat Ibrahim presenting NISA Health.
Hi everybody, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Zaidat Ibrahim and I am representing my team and Nisa Care today. Nisa Care is a digital health companion designed specifically for Muslim women. We support women across their health journey by integrating physiology with faith, something that today's femtech platform completely overlooks. 1 second, just to make sure that you guys can see what is going well.
We can see, mashallah.
Okay, I am having an issue with this. Okay. So Nisa Care was built based from lived experience and research between 2020 and 2025. When I did my PhD, I studied how Muslim women navigated health and technology and saw a consistent pattern of exclusion in both products and data. And this is why Nisa Care was born. This work is grounded in peer-reviewed, award-winning research, which I presented globally at international conferences. It positions Nisa Care as a pioneer at the intersection of faith, women's health, technology. So we're not building a lifestyle app, we're building an evidence-based platform for the Muslim women. Currently, the existing $60 billion femtech industry treats menstrual health purely as biological, and this ignores women's health is shaped by faith, culture, and daily religious practices. Muslim women are therefore forced to hack generic tools and sometimes it creates stress and misinformation. As a result, women's health data is built on standardized secular assumptions. So when religious practices are ignored, women are on the margins become invisible. And this leads to culturally misaligned products and scientifically incomplete insights. So Nisa Care is out here being the first Muslim women's health platform integrating physiology and faith end to end from menarche all through the end of life. And we intend to offer culturally competent care, long-term digital health companion and support while generating high-quality data for evidence-based research. While we do that, we intend to also provide zero explanation care network. So for the next 2 years, our product roadmap is as follows. For the first half of 2026, we're building the menstrual tracking for adult women and teens. Our launch phase will include Islamic and health guidance, companion mode, and community support. Upon launch, we plan to expand this personalized insights, research-backed resources, and the zero explanation healthcare and scholar network. Like I said, Nisa Care is built to be a long-term companion, digital companion for women, not a single-use period tracking app. We support women across key life stages from menarche, which is the first instance of menstruation, through the reproductive years, trying to conceive pregnancy, postpartum, and later in life. In year 1, we plan to focus on the first 2 stages, which is where the need is most, which is the teens and the reproductive women's age, then expand into fertility, postpartum, and beyond. Our primary users are Muslim teens, adult women, parents introducing menstruation to their girl child. Secondary users include Muslim healthcare professionals, educators, wellness providers who are seeking more integrated tools and support. So currently in the market, there are existing competitors. So existing apps cover pieces of this problem. Most do tracking, some do offer community. All others provide Islamic guidance, but Nisa Care combines faith-aligned guidance and tracking and teen support, and we add what others people don't add, which is the doctors, the scholars, and the full journey end-to-end from the beginning phases of menstruation to end of life. I believe healthcare should be free, but our model is simple and trust first. So our revenue model, we offer a premium model. We plan to include a $399 monthly premium subscription and a $599 platinum subscription. This keeps the platform accessible while building predictable recurring revenue. Currently, our serviceable market includes 600 million Muslim women globally who currently use a smartphone, or initial obtainable market with about 10 million early adopters, starting with the US market and English-speaking women who are looking for faith-aligned wellness. Our team is built on expertise from public health, research, operations, technology, and we're currently seeking a business marketing lead to support growth and partnerships. We're a team of practicing faith-based individuals who are deeply connected to Muslim women's life. We're sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, spouses, parents, and caregivers. And we have witnessed firsthand how Muslim women are overlooked in women's health research. That lived connection drives our mission, which is essentially to ensure that Muslim women are finally seen, studied, supported with dignity, accuracy, and complete excellence. With that in mind, at Nisa Care, we're not just building an app, we're sort of trying to correct the systemic blind spot for women's health end-to-end journey, as well as for research. If you're interested in keeping up with us, please register here and connect with us on our socials. Thank you so much, and Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khairan for that presentation. Can we get a takbir? Now we have our 5 minutes of Q&A from the judges before we move on to the next contestant.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so my quick question. I'm very concerned about the visibility of this project. So you're going to be linking like with a doctor, with some, Islamic scholar. Do you have like members of your team that have expertise in these areas, or you're going to be using like external resources like Islam.QA or what exactly?
We do have members of our team that are going to be, which are not presented on screen, that are going to be mostly from the scholarly part. We have a medical doctor who is in support, as well as scholars mostly from the Maliki School of Thought, but hopefully to expand that to other madhab, depending on where women are from different parts of the world.
Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Walaikum salam.
So I have two questions for you. The first one is on privacy and data protection. So this application is going to be gathering personally identifiable information of your users. I'd like you to speak to how you are going to manage that to ensure that there's no data loss. Now, the second question I have for you is on your revenue and expenses. You really didn't say much about that. So the doctors, scholars that you're going to have supporting the app, is there a compensation model that you have in mind? I see that you included the subscription fees, but what does that translate to in terms of projected annual revenue and expenses?
Excellent. I will answer the first question. So I fully intend to, and my team as well, fully intend to build this mostly with Isan. So one of the part of what we are building is ensuring that excellence is part of our work. And we intend to ensure that there is complete privacy for the data that we have. So our data engineer, Mohammed Ibrahim, who is on the team, will be in support to ensure that there is complete privacy on that app. Essentially, if people can opt in, we're going to give full transparency around how your data is being used. You can opt out of certain features if you're not up to it, depending on what other personal identifying information that you would like to share as a user. But that would not prevent you from using the app, for example, if you decide that I no longer want to have access to my data for research. In terms of the perspective for the scholars and the doctors, so that will be something that we're building in our second year, which is 2027 on our product roadmap. And essentially for this part, we plan to do a fee-for-service model where if a person offers to provide some sort of guidance for a certain number of users, then they get paid based off of like how much the user contributes to that. So we're still building that out. We haven't really put a full structure around the expenses and the cost, but hopefully, inshallah, as we build out and launch, that will be something that will be at the forefront of our work.
Assalamu alaikum. I have just one question. It's really about the problem. I know you had mentioned, and you have it in your slide as well, that the femtech industry leaves Muslim women behind. I guess I just didn't really understand what the delta is. Like, what is being left behind exactly? Like, what are the things that we can address for Muslim women that's currently not being addressed by the solutions in the industry, like Flow and all other products that we have?
Yes. So, for example, Flow app currently only offers you to track your period and gives you insight based off of like whatever is happening to your body. But however, if you're going to put that from an Islamic lens, how should a woman navigate menstruation when she's feeling low in her faith or potentially feeling low at the point where she's not connecting to either praying or fasting? What should she do? So if you're giving insights to a regular woman, you're giving her insights to, oh, drink more water, take care of yourself. But if you're giving that from an Islamic perspective, here's zikr that you can do while you're on your period. Here are other things or other ways to connect to your faith while you're on your period. So we're ensuring that we're going to put that in place so Muslim women is having complete support both from the health perspective, but also from the spiritual and faith perspective.
So just one quick follow-up there is that I kind of see it in two ways. Like the first part of the solution is really educational, while the second part is maybe on-ground support, as you was talking about the solution. But do you see more of this more like an educational product in a way, like you're giving them insight and giving them educational support, and now they can navigate what they would ordinarily not get from other existing products?
I don't see it as just an educational platform. Maybe that comes across in that way from my pitch. I apologize for that if that's the big takeaway. But I'm looking at it more long term, where you're getting that support educationally, but you're also contributing to asking certain questions that you want to be researched. You're having access to a scholar. If, for example, you're experiencing certain aspects of health that prevent you from praying or fasting, how do you navigate that if you're having to spot every month in the entire circle? So like, I'm looking at it as more holistic, from more like the menarche perspective to different life stages that women has to encounter. And currently, none of those apps offer that options where you have it across all life stages for a woman.
Thank you.
Jazakallah khairan. Can we get one last takbir for our contestant? Takbir. Next up, we have Ridwanullah Abdurrahim presenting Cyber Vigil. He is also joining us online from Zoom. Are you there, Ridwanullah?
Yeah, I'm here. Am I audible?
You are audible. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Abdurrahim Ridwan. I'm the CEO and founder of Cyber Vigil. Did you know that 90% of African businesses are vulnerable to cyber threats and cyber attacks due to phishing, insecure applications, and lack of continuous vulnerability testing? And guess what? Cybersecurity researchers find vulnerability in the African digital space, but there is really no infrastructure for them to report these vulnerabilities and also get compensated for reporting these vulnerabilities. I'm going to share a story of a friend of mine that found a critical vulnerability in one of the top financial institutions in Nigeria. And when he reported this vulnerability, he didn't get rewarded for it. He got a thank you. And that was how Cyber Vigil was born. The problem we're trying to solve is the lack of centralized reporting platform for the African digital space. Absence of infrastructure to report vulnerabilities when you find them in critical systems. No incentives for finding vulnerabilities, and it is costly to afford global platforms. At Cyber Vigil, we are a dedicated vulnerability reporting platform whereby we apply crowdsourced security, where we have numerous cybersecurity researchers, bug bounty hunters, penetration testers. They onboard on the platform and they find vulnerabilities. It is affordable to the to African startups and companies. It's a centralized hub where the reports that are gotten, government can use them as an avenue to make informed decisions when it comes to cybersecurity policies in the continent. How does Cyber Vigil work? You onboard on the platform as a startup company, bug bounty hunters, cybersecurity researchers, they register on the platform. When you report vulnerabilities, we in Cyber Vigil, we validate this vulnerability. We call it triaging. After validation, we send a verified report to the company. Then they patch the vulnerability. Then we retest, try to check if the vulnerability has been patched. Then we disburse funds to the bug bounty hunter or cybersecurity researcher that found the bug. The market side is huge, but we're targeting the serviceable, obtainable market. And our goal is to get 5% of that market in our first couple of years. If we're able to do that, it's a huge win for us. Our business model is subscription and pay per bug model. Subscription model, organizations or companies can can subscribe on the platform annually for 1 million naira and or quarterly for 300,000 naira. This ensures a predictable recurring revenue for us in Cyber Vigil. Pay per bug is for skeptical startups or companies that feel that might feel that, what if I subscribe on the platform and we don't get any vulnerability reports during that period? So you can onboard on the platform for free and only pay when a verified vulnerability is found. And Cyber Vigil gets 50% plus the approved bounty as a platform fee. Our competitors are HackerOne, Bugcrowd. Yes, we hack. What makes us different from these companies is the fact that this cyber video is tailored for the African market. It is cost effective for startups and companies in the African digital space, and it is community driven. Our traction, since we launched a month and a half ago, we've been able to onboard 60 cybersecurity researchers, ethical hackers, bug bounty hunters. We've been able to generate 4 million naira, around $3,000 from vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. We've been able to onboard 10 startups and currently pursuing 6 LOIs with startups. Our marketing strategy, direct outreach, a lot of the revenue we've made is from direct outreach, leveraging our existing connections and network in the industry. Strategic partnership, the LOIs we have are currently with software development companies that build applications for businesses. We're trying to make them add security features into the services that they render. The team, myself, I have 5 years of experience in cybersecurity. I'm an alumni of Draper University of Entrepreneurship in California. I have a bachelor, a BTech in
Jazakallah
cybersecurity
khair. I'm gonna
science.
have to cut you off there, Ridwanullah. Jazakallah khair. Can we get a big takbir? We are running on that strict 5-minute time, so I'm gonna have to pass it over to the judges now for the Q&A session.
Thank you. I have 2 questions, and primarily the first question really is how, more like why? Like why should a company onboard on cyber video if a bug founder can just go directly to the company and say, well, I found the bug, and the company can deal with them directly and decide whether to pay or not to pay? So why should they come through you, and why should they pay you?
Sorry, come again. I didn't get that.
Why should a company on board with
Yeah.
your product and then pay you when you find the bug if they have decided to not pay someone that comes to them directly? What are you doing differently that they would decide to pay you as a middleman for onward payment to the bug founder?
So basically, we are creating an infrastructure. So cyber video is live. There's an infrastructure that allows when companies on board on cyber video, cybersecurity researchers, they register. There's a contract binding companies when a cybersecurity researcher finds a vulnerability in your system and submits it, and we validate the vulnerability. So my co-founder has OSCP, globally recognized certifications, their triaging manager, whereby they validate and they try to verify if that vulnerability exists. Then the company has to, pay the researcher that found the vulnerability. And the reason for this is because if you don't do that, I have another friend who found a vulnerability in another fintech a fintech startup in Nigeria, and he didn't say anything about it. And a year after he found that vulnerability, attackers exploited that vulnerability, and it cost that particular company millions of naira. So we are providing that solution whereby companies can pay, and it's a win-win situation for the bug bounty hunters, cybersecurity researchers, and also for the companies.
Assalamu alaikum. So I have a question and then a comment. Okay. So the question is, I see you have onboarded about 60 plus hackers. I'm not an IT expert, and I know people do hack for fun, but how do you intend to reward your community hackers? And how is that supposed to work when you scale up? This is a proper company, okay? So that's my question. Now, the comment I have, working in expansion markets or in Africa can be difficult because there are foreign currency exposures. You'll be earning in Naira or other currencies that are not USD. You need to think of how you're going to manage those exposures, because when you translate to US dollars, that can be very different over time. And funds repatriation could also be a challenge. So it's just something for you to think about as you structure your business. Okay? And that's it.
So how it works in cyber vigil is that when companies want to onboard, there are a lot of procedures that they have to take while onboarding on cyber vigil. Apart from putting out the bounty program, the amount you're giving as a bounty for different vulnerabilities and the severity of those vulnerabilities, there's also a contract binding you that when someone finds this particular vulnerability on this particular reward, you have to pay the person. So when a cybersecurity researcher or a bug bounty hunter finds a vulnerability on your system and you've categorized that particular vulnerability as, let's say, critical or informational or medium based, and you've indicated a particular reward for that particular vulnerability, then you have to pay so that we verify that vulnerability exists and it is true.
So let me just clarify. So your customer pays cyber vigil, and then cyber vigil compensates the hacker. Is that how it works?
Oh, no, we are only creating the infrastructure. So you're paying to use the platform because you don't have access to these much bug bounty hunters, cybersecurity researchers. Myself and my co-founders, we belong to communities of Diary of Hackers. We've represented Nigeria in numerous cybersecurity competitions. So we have the community of cybersecurity researchers and ethical hackers and bug bounty hunters. So we are giving access to these professionals. So you pay those professionals
Okay.
when they
So
find the
I
vulnerability.
think I get it now. So you're providing a platform for hackers to join up with customers who want to use their service.
Not necessarily who want to use their service. So if you're on board on the platform and you put out a bounty, you put it out there, anybody can register and they tend to find vulnerabilities. It could take them months, it could take them a year to find a
Jazakallah
vulnerability,
khair. I'm
then
gonna
you
have to
get
cut you
reported.
off there. Thank you so much for presenting. Can we get one last round of applause and takbir? Allahu Akbar for Cyber Vigil. But next up, we have someone here in person. We have Rashid Ajab. We have Rashid Ajibade here presenting in person, presenting Taste. If that's how you pronounce it correctly. Jazakallah khair, I'll give it over to him.
Allah, man.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My name is Rashid. I'll be presenting Taste. Taste helps halal restaurants grow their online order, own their customer data, and maintain healthy margins, all in one dashboard. So to give a quick background about our story, you guys can probably see some faces that you're familiar with in the red circle. For example, that is Mike Tyson. Beside that is Tupac. I'm not saying you should listen to music, but there is a consistent face that we can also see across, which is this brother, our brother Muta', may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him. He was a very close member of Tupac, and then he left music industry and he became a Muslim. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the hadith, "Man taraka shay'an illa awadahu Allahu khayran min." And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indeed blessed them with award-winning restaurant to earn halal income, right? As you can see, this is his restaurant. He has multiple restaurants in Saudi Arabia, and also he's opening another one in Texas. All right, so he actually invited me over to Riyadh. I went there, and he basically showed me the live operations and some of the operational challenges he was going through in his restaurant, right? And I actually went there for a business venture, right? So other than for Umrah, right? You can see this image right here. We recorded the video that go over 50,000 views, and we had 750 signups, and we generated $18,000 from just this single post, right? On the other side, this is the mayor of Newark. Beside him is also another restaurant owner, and we also start with this restaurant owner. Same exact problem that Brother Muta, Hafizahullah Ta'ala, also mentioned. So what is this problem? Restaurant owners are losing up to 30% commissions to third-party marketplace, like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and on top of that, they do not have access to their customer data to basically market back to them, right? And for example, if I was to mention Domino's, right? We all know Domino's. It's not necessarily like their pizza is good, but they make a lot of money in terms of in the pizza industry. So unlike other traditional companies that provide one segment of our solution or that charge fees that defeats the problem they're trying to solve, what Taste basically we are offering, think about Shopify for halal restaurants, right? So we're gonna be giving each restaurant a web application, right, with payment and delivery integration using external APIs, and also branded mobile app, and giving them the ability to have this direct relationship with their customers, and also all of this with zero commission. And on top of that, they also get a voice agent, right? So I was running an agency that we scaled to over $40,000 with Allah's tawfiq. We built agents, voice agents that speak over 80,000 calls, and we're gonna be replicating this. In terms of our ideal customer profile, we are focusing on halal restaurant. This market is a $226 billion market. It's expected to be that in 2036 in just the US, right? And if we're talking about globally, it's a $1 trillion market. In terms of our attraction and strategy, our business partner, Brother Muto, he has over 1 million followers across, and also he maintains direct relationship with restaurant owners across US, Saudi, UAE, Dubai, right? And also we are partnering with restaurant reviewers, halal restaurant reviewers, and because they work closely with restaurant owners, and at the same time, our SDR is already booking meetings with restaurant owners. Our business model, we are charged $249, one setup fee, and $299 monthly fee. We have 4 stages for our customer journey. And in terms of our team, myself, I'm the founder of Taste. Previously founded my core system. We generated $23,000 in 21 days with Allah's tawfiq. And also Audit Lab, we generated 18,000. And also Commonwealth Hubs, we generated 20,000. In terms of what I do on a daily basis, I'm an application security engineer at Verizon. Previously software engineer in the cloud engineering team and in this SRE team. Okay, our partner, which is Brother Muta, he has been in the restaurant industry for over 10 years. He owns award-winning restaurants, Smoky Beard, a lot of celebrities, they go there, Okla Burger and Bakers. The CTO, he also is the CTO for my core system, Audit Lab and Commonwealth Hubs, and also he has associate in cybersecurity, and currently working on his bachelor's. So what do we need? If you know any halal restaurant, I'm sitting right there, let us know. And also, this is
thank you, Abdul Rashid. I think you have time now.
Okay.
But that was good. Thank you.
Yeah, salam alaikum. Okay, so I have 2 quick questions. Okay, so my first question is that you're looking for 250,000 pre-seed.
So this is for pre-seed round, right?
Oh, pre-seed, okay.
Yeah, so right now, everything is currently being bootstrapped, meaning like all the funding is coming from ourselves, right? We can continue to go on that path of being bootstrapped, and inshallah we will get there, but this is just to accelerate and basically tap into like the things that we want to do.
Okay, because I'm just wondering the maximum you can get there is $5,000.
Yeah, inshallah.
I'm just wondering how that is going to help you at all.
Yes, it will, because we would use that for marketing, right? I'm going to be going to Saudi, inshallah, next week we are going to be starting a podcast that Brother Motor is going to be the face of the brand, right? So that is going to go into the podcast and things like that.
Okay, then the second question that I have, so this platform will rely on people being willing to share their financial details, to put in their credit card information, right? So if you want to pay,
Okay.
so you order through the portal, right?
Okay, so it is not a marketplace, right?
Okay.
It is, think of like multi-tenant, right? So you have the platform, I can onboard a restaurant, and then the restaurant has its own platform, right? Another restaurant can come, they can have their own platform. So it's a system that any restaurant can come on board, then they have all the tools and the things that basically the big brand they have.
Okay, so you're just sort of like in the middle, right? So we're still dealing with the restaurants directly. The consumers still deal with the restaurants.
Yes, the consumer. We are not dealing with the restaurants, customers. We're only dealing with the restaurant.
Yeah, so then the customers, how do they deal with the restaurant? Through you?
Yes, through us, through our
Okay,
platform.
so there's some element of trust, right? So we're believing that this platform is safe to use and everything is good, right?
Yeah, correct,
For
yeah.
us to go through it. So why, I mean, Uber Eats, for example, has a reputation. I mean, Uber Eats, so people feel comfortable, using the platform, right? So how do you intend to, convince people? Have you done some sort of like market survey to find out if people are actually interested in something like this?
Yeah, I think the question is directing towards a marketplace. We are not a marketplace.
No, it's not just marketing. It's about trust.
So, yeah. So, Uber Eats, that is from the aspect of, two aspects, right? One aspect is the customers, they know Uber Eats, they can go to Uber Eats. But on the flip side, for the restaurant owner, they're taking up to 30% of every single sale, right? That is, so let's say they make $10,000 in a month, right? Or in a day. That is $3,000 that is going to Uber Eats, just because they're using their platform. And it is not because they have a special platform or anything like that, right? It is basically a web application that has integration into, that has payment integration and delivery options, right? That exact same thing, we're almost done with our MVP, right? Which is our minimum viable product. So it's exact same thing. It's basically, there's no trust limitations, right? The payment integration that we're gonna be using is Stripe. We're using an API. That is within itself, it's a well-known company in terms of handling payment and things like that. So that's the only factor that people can say, oh, I don't trust them, but we're not even building the payment integration. We are leveraging third-party API, if that makes sense.
Okay. Salam alaikum. Thank you so much for your presentation. Hey, so we could better understand what you're building here. Can you give us like an analog, an application that does something similar? Is this a CRM? Is it a restaurant management system? What exactly is this?
So it's a one-in-one, all-in-one platform. So if you see this, if I go to this one, it has a website builder in it. It has marketing in it, meaning you can send automated marketing to your customers, right? Basically, you're also going to be seeing where your sales is coming from. Okay, this is the amount I'm getting from my mobile app. This is the amount I'm getting directly from my website.
So,
right?
sorry to interrupt, but so as a restaurant owner, this is my all-in-all system to manage my restaurant.
Exactly.
So I can use it to manage my orders, inventory, all that stuff.
Exactly.
So it's a restaurant management system.
Not just the restaurant management system,
Okay.
because there's the other side in which the the customers can also go on the website and
Gotcha.
purchase.
Okay. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum.
So from everything you've been explaining, it feels like you just want to attend to just Muslims, like it's just halal and all that stuff.
Correct.
Why that? Why not capture other people rather than just
Allah
Muslims?
subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Ya ayyuhan nasu kulu min al-ayah, subhanallah. Ya ayyuhan nasu kulu min tayyibati ma razaqnakum. Kulu min tayyibati. The ayah is not coming to me, I guess, because of the pressure. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, eat from the halal that has been provided for you. So this within itself is following the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there are thousands of halal restaurants that we can capitalize on. So if that's it.
Jazakallah khairan. Can we get a quick takbir? Allahu Akbar. MashaAllah. Next up, we have Nigerian Authors Book Club being presented by Bolade Yakubu Owolewa.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Okay. So imagine that you're 9 years old and you've read Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. Now, imagine that you have had the unique and distinct opportunity to learn about his life, his work, and Nigerian culture through his son, Dr. Chidi Achebe. Well, through our book club, you would have done just that. My name is Adibala Sherifatu Yakubu Obolowa, and I will be presenting the Nigerian Authors Book Club. Through the book club, we deliver Nigerian literature to diaspora youth ages 9 to 13, and we pair the literature with scholar-led and author-led discussions in order to foster cultural identity, pride in being Nigerian, as well as literacy, all free of charge. This all started as the brainchild of my mother, Alaja Bolade Yakubu Awolowo, and she wanted to help my son and other kids like him who are Nigerian and in the US in order to learn about Nigerian culture through literature. So the way it works is we have a set of books, usually about 20. We send them out to kids all over the US every month. And at the end of the month, after they've read the books, there are 2 adult moderators who will lead the discussion of themes and books and learning about Nigerian culture with our youth. And so this has been going on for over 3 years. And our kids have read 30 Nigerian books in 30 months. And these are books that you cannot usually find in school. And through a great partnership, we have earned a $5,000 grant from the Boston Public Library system in order to continue this initiative. And not only is it great for our youth, it's also great for authors who are Nigerian but don't have the wide acclaim that some authors do. So we've also had Nigerian authors in Nigeria join our Zoom sessions and talk to the kids. We're not the only online book club. There are others that have a fee to join, and some even charge kids to buy the books. But we're different. Everything is free for our kids. So if a kid wants to join, there's no barrier to them joining. So any book that we have, we ship it free of charge to our kids, and all the authors are African, and over 90% are Nigerian authors. And you don't have to take my word for it. Our kids have also said that they've enjoyed the process. One youth said that the book club has enabled him to obtain books that would be expensive or hard to get. Another said that it's fun to read different types of books. One parent said this book club has continued to give her pride in being Nigerian. And another parent said that the emphasis of these books on children's experiences in Nigeria is amazing. Our team includes 2 book club facilitators who are scholars in their own right. My mother is a co-founder, I'm a collaborator, and my son Abdurrahman Lawal is an assistant coordinator. So to date, we have had over 60 different kids participate in the online book club, and there is an over 3-year partnership with the Boston Public Library system, and even though it's free to kids, it does cost something. So to send books to kids every month for an entire year, it costs about $168 per kid, but we never charge the child. In 2026, we hope to do more. We have about 20 kids show up every month for our book club, but we have a waiting list. We send about 20 books out every month. We would like to move that to 40 by the end of 2026. Our book club meets on the last Monday at 6 p.m., so 6 p.m. Eastern time, so that's good for people on the East Coast and people on Central time. It's not great if you're on the West Coast, that'll be 3 p.m. So we want to increase our membership to 40 youth in 2026, focusing mostly on people in the East Coast and Midwest. However, in 2027, we want to do more. We want to have a Saturday session so that kids who are either on the West Coast of Africa or the West Coast of the US can easily partake in this without it being midnight. And so to do that, we need partnerships. So thank you all for your time. If anyone would like to donate to us, no donation is too big or too small. If you want to just give us money, that's great. All of it will go into books for kids. If you want to sponsor a kid or several kids for a year in terms of having books, that is great, because I believe that together we can enrich the lives of 1,000 more African youth in order to foster cultural identity, pride in being Nigerian, and literacy. Thank you very much.
Okay. Salam alaikum, sister. That was a fantastic presentation. I like to read books, and I love Nigerian literature. I think this is a great project that you're doing, and super well done. Now, for this forum, we're looking at entrepreneurs, and I don't see a business in there. That's the only concern. I would be willing to donate. I would like to work with you, but this is not a business from what I've seen.
So I guess to address that, first I'd like to say, my mom and I were talking about this, and we think just being here, we've already won. So everyone here, please sign up your children, your grandkids. We would love to send them books. But I do agree. So we're not trying to have a $1 billion initiative. None of us will ever see a salary. Between my mom and I, we are paying for books. Like my mom and Mr. Oladibalu will go to Nigeria, have a suitcase just with books to come back from Nigeria, and we'll send them out on our own dime. So yes, we're not trying to build a business, just a book club, because my mom was raised in Nigeria, I was raised here. There's a difference. My son is raised here. So as we go on, we might have the Nigerian name, but we won't have the same connection to Nigeria that our parents do. So this is all about help us make our kids feel Nigerian, love being proud of their names, being proud of being Nigerian. So yes, this is not going to be a business, but this will always be a book club, a free book club, so that kids. I mean, we've even had authors stay up till midnight in Nigeria to join us. Free. They don't get paid anything, but they're sharing their books. They love to write, and we're giving them a platform. And also, our kids realize the love of learning, and they also realize that Nigerians are amazing authors.
Okay, salam alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Yeah, I have a question and a comment. So my question is, have you looked at the break even in terms of like how much do you actually need like on a monthly basis to break even? Have you considered the financial impact yet? So that's my question. And then my comment is, I think you're really like selling yourself short, really, with this idea, like looking for like 40 kids, you know, trying to, you should actually aim higher, like really go big. I think you get the support, right? So don't sell yourself short. You've got an amazing idea.
Okay, thank you so much. So we will love to go further. We just need the money. So we have the waiting list of kids. Kids want to join. We just need the money to get more books and send it out to more kids. But I totally agree with you. So to send out one book is about $14, $10 for the book, $4 for shipping, and we send it to 20 kids, so $280. None of our facilitators get paid anything, so no one takes a salary at all. So $280 is what we would need to break even per
Let's
month.
do ebooks.
I think she's mixing like ebooks and the
Okay, so we do ebooks as much as possible. We had one book called Ianu, and so that was an ebook, but some of these books aren't there. So when we go to the small bookstores in Nigeria, we might find 30 copies of a book, but they're not going to be on an ebook. And they won't even be on Amazon. So sometimes we're getting great books that may not even be widely read even in Nigeria. So unfortunately, some of these books are just not on ebooks yet.
Maybe work with publishers.
That, please, before you move on. So I looked at this. So you're looking at it $168 per child per annum, right?
Yes.
So you want to project to like 40 kids. So that's like 6,720. That's what you should be asking for today.
Okay. Yes.
Either from Afropreneur or from the crowd. You
Yes.
need that
So
money today.
we would love to win the $5,000 challenge. We would roll that into books for kids. But if anyone here wants to give us money, we will take your money. Dollars, naira, we'll take it, and we'll apply it towards books. So please get in touch with me if you want your kid to be on in our book club. And if you want to reach out to me to give us a donation, anything, nothing is too small. Nothing is too small.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
So I just wanted to chime in real quick to thank you for what you're doing. Thank you so much. May Allah reward you abundantly. I do think that you should actually consider, explore charging people. Given that you have a waiting list, I think you validated the market demand. It doesn't have to be for profit, but you could charge people to make it even reach more people. Because if you put a small fee, that allows you to scale without having to always beg. You can always just expand the pool of the people that you're able to touch. So I think not charging, you might actually just be holding yourself back. But you guys are the experts, and this is just my thought.
I have a comment to make.
Thank you.
Many Nigerian parents don't believe in reading books, reading Nigerian books. And we don't want to deprive a child because the parent does not think it's important. But for these kids, it's very, very important. It was a money-making thing. A lot of parents will be involved. But these kids are learning how to be good authors and to read books. And kids who never wanted to read are reading now. So but I like your idea. Might explore it one day. Thank you, sir.
Jazakallah khairan. Can we get a takbir?
Allahu Akbar.
Now, last but not least, presenting Traverse, we have Abdurrahman Sharif. Can we get a round of applause?
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, thank you all for being here today. My name is Abdurrahman Sharif. I'm the CEO/founder of Traverse. Traverse is an AI co-pilot or assistant that helps you plan your group trips. And what this looks like is, for example, you're coming to Ohio, you need to book your flights, you need to book your hotels, you need to book activities if you want to explore the city. Traverse understands what you want, and from there, use that to plan your trip for you. So before we get into the solution, I would like to talk about one of our users, their experience planning before using Traverse. So Mito Inko plans at least 3 trips on an annual basis. She's the one that coordinates her friends, figures out dates, figuring out what kind of interest they want to do in that location. At the same time, the vibe of the entire trip. So a lot of back and forth texting in the group chat. And what happens? She gets really overwhelmed. At the same time, there are millions of other people like Onyekon that faces this same problem. They spend around 20 plus hours planning group trips. They do it across 10 different apps, and yet 90 million of these group trips do not make it out of the group chat annually. That's why I'm building Traverse. Traverse is an AI co-pilot that aligns people, plans the trip, and brings it to life. So what does that look like? It starts by syncing your availability to know what is the best time for you to travel. For example, I might have PTO towards the end of the year. My friend might still be in school, trying to find the best time that works for everybody. Likewise, you also coordinate your interests. If I want maybe Nigerian food during my trip, if someone wants Asian food, it blends that together. And finally, it generates a day-by-day travel plan for you. What does that look like? How much you expect to spend on that trip? What is the distance between different locations? And finally, you can book everything in one single app. So you can book your flights, your hotels, and also your activities. Why are we doing this now? First of all, travel is surging domestically and internationally. Secondly, people are now using AI in travel planning. This was not possible 5-10 years ago. And most importantly, online travel agencies like Expedia now have APIs, making it very easy to partner with them. This is a $20 billion market. We're potentially looking at $60 million by year 3 by having 300,000 book trips. How do we plan to do this? We're starting out with markets whereby AI travel planning is mainstream. So markets like North America, Europe, and also parts of Asia and Africa. And the business model is quite simple. For example, you want to book a flight and hotel to Ohio, it costs $1,000. Since we're working with the carriers, we get a 5 to 10% commission on each booking. So that would be like $50 on a $1,000 flight. The second business model will be subscription revenue. And this is for people who have more, higher demands or have more trips plans in a year. There will be a $10 per month or $50 per year fee. The competitive landscape is very saturated. There are a lot of travel tech players. However, Traverse stands out because 1, we focus on the group, and 2, we make it very personalized to your interests. So if you're traveling with your friends, we make sure we account for everybody. At the same time, we make sure it's very personalized to what you want. Think about it like this. If you're going to Paris and you tell ChatGPT, plan me a trip to Paris, ChatGPT will give you a lot of good ideas and maybe say something like, go to Eiffel Tower. That is a good recommendation. However, with Traverse, it goes beyond that. It tells you something like, if you like soccer, how about you go to a Paris Saint-Germain match at the same time? How about you go watch a PSG match? That's something that Traverse understands that your regular current solution doesn't. Our go-to-market strategy is quite simple. I'm the founder, so I build in public, and I have over 13,000 followers on TikTok and Instagram. This drives the first set of users. Beyond that, we have an in-app viral loop. What does this mean? I'm planning a trip. Now I have to invite 3 friends to also come and join me on that trip. Automatically, it increases our user base quicker and faster. And finally, we'll partner with travel influencers and ambassadors. Traction, we currently have 80 plus users in our closed beta. We're looking at potential 12,000 booking volume once we integrate payments. We have 2 travel creators piloting, and also we have planned 100 trips in just a month. This is the dream team. I'm the CEO. I have growth and strategy experience across PwC, Amazon, and Expedia. My co-founder has software engineering experience across US Solutions and Intuit. And we are both avid travelers too. So in essence, join the journey. If you want to try out the app, you can scan the QR code, and let's redefine how the world connects and travel together. Any questions, please come talk to me or send us an email. Jacomo Kairan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Thank you for your presentation. I think one of the things that you pointed out that was different from other AI travel planning apps is you have more information and you're able to provide more personalized recommendations. The question I have for you is, where are you getting that data from and why is it exclusive to you?
So we are currently integrating with Google Places One. We're also integrating with events, so places like Eventbrite, places like Ticketmaster. Current solutions rather build an internal database, And it works for them because it makes them control the information. But for us, we are paying the API cost to integrate with these databases, and now we have this information.
Sorry, can I follow up on that?
Yeah.
My question was the information about the person that's booking the trip.
Okay. So when you try to sign up, the first thing you do is put preferences. So preferences revolves around what kind of food you like, what kind of events you want to go to. Do you want hiking versus swimming? So you just fill that quick form once you sign up. So automatically, when you're planning a trip, it has that information and use that to plan for you. Also, for each trip, you can update it. So for example, if you're going to Nigeria, you might want to maybe go to the beach, but maybe in Ohio, there's no beach around for you to go to. So it automatically updates based on the trip. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have two questions. Okay. The first one is, what will this app do that is different from, say, ChatGPT today? If I put ChatGPT probably knows me well now. If I put the location I want to go to, or even ask for suggestions, it would even tell me flight options, hotel options, where to stop, and give you an itinerary. Yes. So what is the extra that you're offering? The second thing is, you have, for the premium subscribers who will pay a fee, what are the additional benefits versus the non-power organizers?
Yeah. Thank you so much for that question. So have you ever planned a trip with your friends maybe before?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
But when he asked you what will be the source of the information, now if your Copilot app was syncing to people's Outlook, then you could have solved for that. But from what you explained, people still need to input their information into your app. I might as well do that in ChatGPT.
Okay. So now the approach is, in ChatGPT, it mostly understands you. It doesn't have a group chat feature to understand your friends. With Traverse, once you log in, you invite your friends, so automatically they put their preferences. And the AI kind of syncs it together, both you and your friends' preferences. ChatGPT cannot do that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it does. That is the first question. The second one was?
About the premium.
The premium, yes. So premium would just be, regular people would have you put in your information and you generate a trip. But with premium users, you have one, offline access. Two, you have dynamic rescheduling. What that means is if your flight got delayed, for example, it automatically updates the information, or it notifies the airline or it notifies the hotel that you cannot check in at that time. So it has more advanced features whereby a regular person would not have that. Another feature it will also have is budget splitting. So if I pay for an hotel but I want to share the price across 3 friends, you can automatically do that in the app. So just more advanced features. It's not fully fleshed out yet, but those are some of the things we are thinking about currently.
Yeah. Well, so it sounds quite interesting. I do a lot of travel planning for my family, so I'm trying to really, see the advantage of going this route rather than just my regular, the planning part. Right. So I know there's a lot of customization that comes in with travel planning, right? So this is, just as she says, more like ChatGPT. Okay, I change this, I change that, and then I keep going back and forth, right? So have you tried this? Is it tested? Because I can't really even see what have you done anything? Have you tried it on? Do you have customers that have tried this? What's their feedback? What have you learned from those that have tried it, right? Because it's still, in this economy, everyone's been very money conscious. So I have to be very, very sure that this is really giving me something extra before I can really go for it. So what has your experience been like?
Yeah, I had a video pitch that I submitted. I wish that was played, but that's not played right now. But if you scan the QR code and check it out, on the platform, you can easily... Oh, I kind of lost track of... What was the question again? Sorry, I lost track of the question.
In terms of the extra, what it's adding on, and what has the experience been like for those that have used
So the major experience, the feedback we have been getting really is just making it much more dynamic. So being able to adjust your travel plans. Right now it's just deterministic. If you plan something, you have to stick to that. But I think with time, having more engineers on hand, we'll be able to adjust those information. But overall, it's just been a growth experience for me and my team members.
So just you and just 2 of you?
Yeah, I have a
able to handle the volume?
Yeah, I think with AI and vibe coding, like it's easy to put up something together with two people. Thank you so much.
Jazakallah khairan. Let's get one last takbir. Allahu Akbar. And then one takbir for all of our contestants who very bravely came up today to compete. Can we get one more takbir? Allahu Akbar. Now, next up on the agenda is where we get to hear your voice. We get to see what you think about the 5 contestants we've had today. So we're going to put up on the screen next a code so that you all at home, you that are joining from us live, and all of you guys here can vote to see who you decide to be the Audience Choice Awards for this year's Afropreneur Challenge. And then after that, we'll see what the judges think, and we'll see, who the actual genuine winners are for the 2025 Afropreneur Challenge. Okay, on the screen, you see a QR code that you can either scan with your phone or you can type in the link there and enter the code so that all of you guys here can vote to see your favorites pitch that you heard tonight, and votes to see who will win the Audience Choice Awards.
Okay, so you have a few minutes to vote. Can you all get in, right? You can get in and you have a few minutes to vote for the People's Choice Award. So the People's Choice Award for this year will be $1,000. So you get to choose which of the teams takes home $1,000. So go on menti.com and get in your vote for the top team. What? I don't know how it's set up. Is it allowing you to choose multiple? You only choose one, right? Exactly. So going. This is the time to use all those AI bots. The judges know you cannot vote. Your vote is in your scores there. So judges, do you have all your points in, all of you? Let me check in with my team. But while that is going, in case the judges have a few general stuff you want to share with the participants while that voting is going on. Yeah, so let's, we have about 5 minutes to go.
Do you guys want to maybe address each participant?
Like each one?
Yes. Address each participant.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My comment would be for the Nigerian Author Book Club. I really, really love your idea, knowing the fact that our culture is kind of fading away. And like we said again, a lot of people don't enjoy reading, and people don't encourage their children to read. And reading is one of the best gifts you can give to your kids. Again, like my colleague said, you were cutting yourself short by kind of using your own revenue for the post and all that stuff, and then by thinking small. So my advice to you is to think big, because inshallah, that project would go very big.
Assalamu alaikum. I just have some general comments, particularly about the book club, but also about Traverse. About the book club, I love the idea, and I love reading as well. I think you can maybe solve what you're solving for in maybe a more convenient way. Like maybe I think you want to probably do a drive and raise some money for digitizing most of your physical copies. Like even if the authors don't have them in digital copies, you can digitize them. or you can work with the others to digitize them. It's more scalable. You can get one copy to 100 people rather than having to like trade one physical copy across board every time. I think it's something that solves your problem in a more efficient way. Trying to actually just take that exercise of digitizing it, and then you have the copy for life, and you can use it for today's kids and kids 100 years from now. You always just have that. So I think that's something you should think about, like a digital library for the Nigerian Books Club. So that's a good. And then for Traverse particularly, I like the idea, or maybe the way I'm thinking about the idea, I like it. I think maybe they want to think about selling it in a way that easily appeals to a traveler. Like, I want to plan a group trip with a bunch of my friends. I go on the app, I put in my preferences, my friends put in their preferences, and the app just does the job. And then we'll come back and tell, okay, if you want to go to Lagos, I know you like to do this and you like to do that. And that integrated data from all my social media platforms that I've given access to, and all my friends as well. I think maybe that's a way to kind of like position it in that sense, to aggregate all their preferences together, and we all can just go as a one-stop shop, put in what we want to do, where we want to go, and what the things we would like to do, and it just gives us like ideas, like, okay, you can go here, you can go there, and you can do X and Y things. So I think it's a good idea when you think about it, but maybe just need to think more on the execution.
Thank you. So I'll start from the bottom here. So for Traverse, I think my feedback to you is that, look, AI travel planning in general is a solved problem. I think each one of these platforms already does a decent job of this. I think the moat you can build right now that will put you ahead is the better integration, like my colleague here said. You don't have any baggage to bring with you. A lot of these platforms have baggage that will prevent people from giving them access to their profile, social media profiles and stuff like that. If you're able to build that and you're able to get ahead, you can build a moat around yourself, and that will differentiate you from the market. I think that's the big thing that I think you should think about. For the Nigerian Authors Book Club, what can I say that has not been said? I think the only thing that makes me sad is my kids are too old for this right now, because if they're the age, I'll definitely sign them up. I do think you should consider how we can superpower this. It could be a vertical thing or horizontal thing. Horizontally, you could spread yourself by maybe recruiting other people that can replicate what we're doing, maybe across the country. Or I still think you should think about charging. But anyway, and it doesn't have to be either or. It could be, why not both, right? The people that can afford it should pay, and the people that cannot afford it, you can continue to be free. But thank you for what you're doing, and may Allah continue to guide you. My feedback for Taste is that you should maybe narrow down the scope of what you're focusing on. I think you're trying to do too much at once, even though you're thinking about an MVP. I think even within that MVP, it came across anyway to me as trying to do too much. You're playing in a very competitive market, and there's no need to tie your own shoes to themselves while you're trying to compete in a very hard market. May Allah continue to bless your work and reward you abundantly. For cyber vigil, I actually think this is a healthy market that you're trying to attack. I wonder if you have that clarity of vision of what you're trying to do, and I will suggest that you invest in maybe a better story to tell here. I think the simple thing that you're trying to do, at least the way I understand it, is a two-way marketplace. And if you describe it as that, then you can talk about maybe the value prop for the hackers that you're recruiting, as well as the value prop for the companies that you're recruiting the hackers for. And I think that clarity will help you sell, not only to potential investors, but potential customers, potential hackers as well. And for NISA Health, my feedback is very quick. I think you actually outlined in your presentation 2 different apps that are doing something similar to what you're doing. I think it was Nisa, Tahir. One, I know, no. Flow doesn't have the Muslim integration. There were 2 that actually had the Muslim integration. I think you should think about what you can do to differentiate, especially in the early stages, because your doctor integration and the Ask the Expert integration are coming later. It will be hard to get off the ground if there's no clear differentiation from get-go? I don't have an answer for you, but something for you to think about. May Allah continue to bless all your work.
Okay, so I think I spoke a lot during the Q&A sessions. So maybe just a few comments. So first, very well done to all the people that presented. It's not easy to speak to a crowd, and I really did enjoy all of those presentations. I'm not going to say much about the book club. I think all the feedback you've been given is valid. So also Traverse and Taste. For Taste, I'm not an IT expert, so I didn't follow all of those conversations, but it did seem very ambitious. But, you know, what we have behind us is, if you're not, can I have a look, please? If your dream doesn't scare you, then it's not big enough. So if not, why not? Okay. Okay. But for NISA Health, I think there's actually a market for this app. I think there's a clear value proposition. But what I was missing was that the articulation of the business model. There's potential to make money, but I don't think they've tied it together very well. The business strategy still needs some work. So also, I think cyber vigil, really understanding, like you said, it did sound like a two-way marketplace, and I'm not sure that came out clearly in the way the message was passed across.
You still have time? Oh, okay. I thought you were trying. Okay, just to wrap it up. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, just a very, very quick one. Also, there's been like a lot said already. So, well done to everyone that has contributed today. So for NISA Health, just as my friend here, my sister here said, so there's something in it. I just think like it's just a whole lot going on. You know, Islamic, you know, doctor, you know, just adding like a whole lot in other, trying to differentiate yourself. So maybe just consider maybe the Islamic part, leave the doctor part out, you know, something that will actually like differentiate you. It doesn't have to be like so big. Later on where you stabilize, you can add other things. Right, so for cyber vigil, so the fact that those of us here that were not like IT savvy struggled understanding the concept tells you that there's more work to be done, right? So you need to try to simplify your business model so that it's easy for other people that are not in the IT field to understand. So that can take you back to the drawing board and trying to, you know, make some changes. For taste, right? There's a whole lot value that you want to add to the Islamic community, especially for like halal foods. So maybe try to, instead of trying to replicate Uber Eats or maybe some other platform, maybe just try to start first, like, okay, let's even create a database for all halal foods, and then maybe find some ways to categorize them so that for those of us that want to order, we have a one-stop place to just go, you know, check out by region, sort out by, you know, whatever, you know, and then maybe start taking it from there. I just think like it's a whole lot you're trying to take on. The Authors Book Club, I've already like put in my comment. So for travelers, I like traveling, so I'm really like quite interested in, you know, in this, right? But then I still think also that in terms of, apart from the fact that so you can have like 3 people, you know, log in at the same time and check, that's the only like value that I've really seen that's different from maybe what I'll get with Expedia, you know, or some other platform, right? But then I can easily like send to my friends and say, you know what, this is what I've put together. What do you think about it? And then I get their comments, right? So you have to really go back and think again about that value that can really make you stand out and differentiate you from, you know, from competitors. Otherwise, everyone has done like very good, right? It's fantastic ideas all over the place. So I wish you the very best in executing your ideas. Thank you. Salam alaikum.
Okay. Can I go? Okay. So we thank our judges very much who have given their time but also valuable advice. And for participants, again, that's the best thing you can take away from here today. It's not the money. There are several competitions I've seen where the person who has succeeded has not been with the person who won the prize, but who took the feedback and then did something good with it. With that said, we have our results in, both from the People's Choice and also from the judges. So we'll start with the People's Choice Award of $1,000. Let's see view results. Okay. Can you all see the screen? In top place, we have 145 people voted. And in top place, People's Choice Award for this year goes to Nisa Health, Zaidat Ibrahim. Takbir! So, People's Choice winner for this year is Zaidat Ibrahim, going home with $1,000 People's Choice Prize. Congratulations, Zaidat. And then, let's take a look at what the judges have. Again, I had no hand in the judging, in the collation, in anything. If you have any issues with them, they are all AI physically. That's why we don't allow the judges to be virtual. We bring them in person. So you can see them on the staircase, you can see them on the elevator, you can see them anywhere. And again, you still have 3 days on platform. So, I know, and me, I'm just announcing. But I have yes, so in top place for the 6th edition, let me take off my glasses. So in top place for the 6th edition of the NCNMO Afropreneur Challenge, going home with a cash prize of $2,000. Okay. So firstly, one of the things we did, again, as some of you knew, for the first 5 years, the award for this was $10,000. But from this year, one of the things we started doing was also subsidizing the finalist trip. So each finalist can claim up to $1,000 back in reimbursable experiences for their hotel, for their travel to this. Right? So that's one of the things we started to do. Also, we're allocating mentors to them. So also, prizes in kind. All right. But again, the cash prizes for this year still remain $5,000 for the first prize, $3,000 for the second prize, $2,000 for the third prize, and $1,000 for the People's Choice, which was just won by Nisa. So in third place, going home, I think my phone is going there though. Going home with third place this year with a total of 65.8 points. By the way, there are no ties. So there are no ties. So in top place with 65.8 points, average across all the 5 judges, we have, in third place, we have Cyber Vigil. Takbir! So all the way joining us all the way from Nigeria, where it is now about 2 a.m., we have Cyber Vigil in third place with a prize of $2,000. And then the first runner-up, that is the second prize winner for today, for the 6th edition of the NCNMO Afropreneur Challenge, the second prize of $3,000 goes to Traverse. Takbir! So now we're left with the first. Can we just leave the rest and just go home? We have to announce the first. They already start dinner. Some people have to go for sports. We should not declare it inconclusive. Like the INEC people do in Nigeria. We have to announce. Okay. My mother said we have to announce. So in first place, so joining the roll call of our past 5 winners of the NCNMO Afropreneur Challenge, in first place with a clear lead over all the rest, we have with 70.6 votes, drum roll, 2025 NCNMO top prize of $5,000 goes to Nisa Health. Is Nisa Health still on? Can we have on the screen?
Hi, assalamu alaikum.
Let's
Thank
see.
you so much, Jazakallah Khair. I really appreciate this. I'm actually so hasty.
Okay.
Thank you for believing in our work, and thank you so much for the opportunity to present. Inshallah, this will go well, and I look forward to being here next year to presenting the progress of our work.
Takbir! And so with that, we come to the end. She wanted to share your, for the Blue Club, she wanted to share the phone number or what? Yes.
Several sisters have asked me for my phone number, probably for Zelle. So please, my phone number is 617-470-6481. Again, my cell phone number is 617-470-6481. Anything you give will go directly to the kids and buying books for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our volunteers, starting from the MC Abdulrahman and Yahya, to all of our judges who have been here, all our fathers, mothers, Dr. Musodi, the technical crew, Kazim and his team. We're very grateful for your support over the past 6 years, and we look forward to next year, inshallah. And to all the audience, thank you for joining us virtually, thank you for joining us in person here, and for all those online, on YouTube, on Zoom, those from Nigeria who have stayed up late, we thank you. Omani Ifasasi, who has, been the brain behind this execution, we thank you for an amazing job done. Thank you very much. Can go to bed now. And until next year, we say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. For those who came early and had their names up for t-shirts, there are 4 people who we have not given the hoodies to. Amira Roy, what's next? Kafayat Bello, Toyiba Bello, and Rashid Ajibade. If you are here, please get your Afropreneur hoodies before you leave. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, NCNMO, and see you next year. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.